Hey, welcome back to Garden Rose. The weather has been getting nicer and nicer and it's feeling like it's starting to be spring. So I'm feeling brave. I wanted to get outside and do some preparatory garden things. And one of those things on my checklist I've been avoiding is my fish fertilizer. I started this bucket of fish fertilizer 9-ish months ago. So I want to check on it and hopefully take some of it, put it into a different jug so that I can have it inside when I start my seeds, and when they need to start being fertilized, I'll have my homemade fish fertilizer to use. So if you didn't see that first video, I did film the process of making it. So check that out. I will leave it in the description and I'll put it on the screen. It was interesting. It was a dirty job. It was, I wouldn't say fun. It wasn't not fun, but it was pretty smelly. So this bucket has been sitting here, like I said, for 9 months, all throughout the summer and throughout the winter too. I just left it in that same place. And it was pretty smelly at first. It got better. I can't smell anything now. So I'm hoping that it's done. I'm hoping that's a good sign that that means everything worked. But I'm going to open up the bucket and we'll take a look together. All right, so my airlock system that Brad kind of created for me seemed to work. No, that's my stick. I need this one. Go find yours. Get yours. Bring yours over here. Yeah, seemed to work all right.
You good?
Yeah, I guess.
Don't use your fingernails, use your fingertips and curl it.
Oh my God, that smells so bad. Oh, yuck. Okay, honestly, the smell didn't really bother me that much when I was doing this. It smells so much worse now. Like, oh, I keep getting it wet. Okay. But anyway, the fish actually seems to have broken down. Like, I'm stirring it and I can feel like there's things in there, but it's all just like pieces rather than full carcasses that I'm like moving around. So I want to say that this is done and that I can start using it. It doesn't necessarily look like the same color as what I've seen. It looks a little bit more like light brown, like creamy brown, than like the dark brown, almost translucent type fertilizer. So I don't know, but hey, I mean, it's all natural, local fish that can then fertilize my plants. So, phew. Okay, so I think I have a plan. I've got gloves and cheesecloth. I think what I'm gonna do is tie the cheesecloth around the bucket and then start pouring from the bucket into here, which has a spout, so that I can pour it into here. And then this is what I will use to, like, you know, use it when I need it, which this was Brad's idea. Genius. I was like, man, what am I gonna put this in? How am I gonna use it? He's like, hey, don't you have an old laundry detergent bucket? Like, it's like this was made for that job. So I'm excited, but this is very smelly and I want to get this done like ASAP. So I'm just gonna start trying to do something and we'll see how it goes. Dang it. You'll see here pretty soon that I started to realize that the double cheesecloth, having it folded in half wasn't really needed. The cheesecloth, just even a single layer, was still letting it filter through really finely, which made this take a really long time. And I don't think I needed to necessarily filter out every single piece. So, keep watching. You'll see at the end, I eventually just resort to dipping that little measuring cup into the bucket and trying to just keep out some of the bigger pieces. So that's how this all ended up working out. But I wanted to share a little bit more about the fish fertilizer in general. In my video that I linked that you hopefully will go check out, I mentioned how I watched Garden Like a Viking and their video about this fertilizer, and that was really what motivated me to try it out for myself. So it's really just a more natural way to fertilize the plants and seedlings. You can use it as like a deep root fertilizer or a foliage, the leaf fertilizer. You can spray it on top of the plants too. So I'm excited to try it out and see if it helps. The fish, everything, all the nutrients and minerals, vitamins, all the stuff that's in the fish is really good for plants. But the problem is that if you just bury fish in your soil, it takes a while for that to break down so that it's actually like a plant available resource. So this process basically speeds that up and breaks down the fish. And that's why you use the leaf mold too, is that the microorganisms in the leaf mold break down the fish and turn it into a plant available resource that then you can use to fertilize your plants. So that's my very basic general understanding of how this works, but go check out that Garden Like a Viking video because he has some really great knowledge. Okay, well, that didn't really work out as expected, and I'm still not too sure about the color, so I'm gonna have to look that up and see when other people have made fish fertilizers, if they've kind of looked like that. And I'm hoping that they do, but I am going to dig a hole way back there behind the pond because I know my dog is gonna try to find this and dig into it. So I'm gonna dig as deep of a hole as I can and put the rest of what's in the bucket in that hole and cover it up. I got to clean up all that too, so I'll be here for a while. I don't know. My thought is that towards the end of it, like the cheesecloth fell off and it became a mess. So I know there's some thicker pieces in this jug, but what I'm thinking is that because it's got the spout in it already, it'll filter that out a little bit. I don't think the bigger pieces will come through that. So I'm thinking that jug will pay off for more than just, convenience. I think it'll help to filter out the bigger pieces a little bit too. So we'll see how it goes. I might have to do an experiment this garden season and try to fertilize some of my seedlings with it and leave others without it to see if there's really a benefit to using this, and maybe we'll do a side-by-side comparison and see if this works. But yeah, I don't know. it was fun to try. It's very smelly, so it's not necessarily fun to do, but I think it'll hopefully pay off if it helps my seedlings grow really healthy. So we'll see. But stick around if you want to see that experiment and see if this fish fertilizer was worth it trying to make. If it's worth it to get through this smelly project for the end result, I will, keep you posted along the way as we try this out in the garden, and hopefully it's worth it. But subscribe if you want to find out with me. All right, well, thanks for coming along as I finish up this dirty job. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.